All right, hey everybody. This is Nash here, and today we're gonna be comparing Hudson Card and Casey Thompson stats from the Rice game and the University of Louisiana Lafayette game. And this is not a video that's going to be arguing for why Hudson Card should be the guy or anything like that. This is going to be a video that goes to say maybe we should, I don't know if pump the brakes is the right word, but throw the car in neutral. Because I don't want to fall for the same thing that we did with Hudson Card. You know, the banana in the tailpipe, if you will. So let's just go look into it. I probably should have had up on the top where the adjusted completion percentages instead of listing the percentage. I should have had the actual just numbers. So like where you see his official numbers is 14 for 21. And I have it off the top of my head. It's he was 13 for 16 adjusted completion percentage. No, that's not right. Yeah, no, that's not right. Ignore that. 11. He had an 11.7 average depth of target. And so what you're gonna see over here on this spray chart, the yellow line is gonna represent that's the line of scrimmage. So he's not throwing from the end zone. That's behind the line of scrimmage. That's from the pocket. So a good example is you can see this one right here. If you can pick out the one, you can see my little cursor right here. And then there's where the target was. Maybe in the future I'll put a line right there and then put a circle around the targets. But so if you want, you can go ahead and pause. And then that's a spray chart from his game. Then we're gonna go look at Casey Thompson from that game. He didn't do too much, mostly screen passes. This is a lot easier to see the spray chart because there's not as much clutter going on there. Pretty simple. His adjusted completion was the same as his straight up. But so looking at Hudson Card, a lot of people when we watch this game, I almost said good and God. We oohed and awed over his passing, and he does have some arm talent, and it's nice. And he did look nice in that game. But fast forward to Arkansas, and this actually surprised me. And these numbers, I'm just gonna check real quick. Yeah, no, they're good. His official numbers are 8 for 15. His adjusted completion percentage was 72.7%. And if you had told me that, I'd have told you you're lying. So that was interesting to see, is a good word. His average depth of target was 16.4, but I mean most of it was driven up by 4 passes, all of which he was incomplete on, and the adjusted completion percentage. So what this is, for those that don't know, I should explain this. You're counting a drop pass as a completion. You're discarding, so you're not counting balls that were tipped at the line of scrimmage or deflected or throwaways. So those passes essentially don't exist because with adjusted completion percentage, what you're trying to do is you're trying to see how often the quarterback puts a catchable ball. And if a wide receiver drops a ball, well, that's not on the quarterback. That's on the wide receiver. So you're trying to minimize. There are things that that a quarterback can get penalized for. So, like throwing the ball away. Sometimes that's in the best interest of the team. That shouldn't ding a quarterback's accuracy just because because he made a smart decision not to try and force the ball into a window that doesn't exist. So that's the goal of adjusted completion percentage. And one of these passes that Hudson Card had was a pass to Jordan Whittington in the end zone. I did not count that as a drop pass. I counted that one against him with the adjusted completion percentage. So if I were to even count that one, he would probably be in the high 70s. And I'm not saying it should be counted, and I'm not trying to defend him, because looking back on it, I mean, I think in the first quarter we had one pass attempt, and we had called a lot of pass plays. So he wasn't pulling the trigger, and we had to move on, and that's where Casey Thompson comes in. His official line is 15 of 18. His adjusted completion percentage was 100%. And I actually, for Hudson Card, one thing that was very intriguing in his first game was up to, if you notice on this box right here. So there's the one, and there's these two. If you count up, and even if you count this one could be counted almost as an adjusted completion percentage, one that goes towards him. He was 100% up to 30 yards. Adjusted completion percentage. And that was, when I saw that, that's when I was like, oh, man, Hudson Card to the moon. Well, then the Arkansas happened, so I don't know how to approach this with Casey Thompson, but I'm very intrigued seeing the 100%. I mean, this dude, he played legit, and you're gonna see it says 18, but I have up to 20 throws on there. That's because there's 2 throws that were penalties. There was a holding penalty on one of them, but I'm still counting it. I'm not counting it on the adjusted completion, but I'm counting on the spray chart. And then there was a roughing a passer one. And then also similar, I don't have the yellow line, but so there's the goal line and then everything in front. So 5, 10, and for those that might have seen 60, 70, 80, 90, yeah, I did that on purpose. I didn't want to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, because this is meant to see how far a quarterback, I know we're not going to see from either of the quarterbacks 55 plus, but I just did that nevertheless. But back to the average depth of target for Casey Thompson is lower, but he does take those shots. But you're going to see a lot of his passes, and I don't have the spray chart I lost it. I deleted it for the Arkansas game, and I'm really pissed off at myself for that. But he hasn't really hit the middle that much, so that'll be interesting to see if that continues to happen. If he kind of stays away from the middle, we'll see. Maybe I can do like a little quadrant stat, showing you what quadrants they're throwing into the most and where the most of the completions are. But I mean, Casey Thompson's balls, he was throwing some really nice, pretty passes the other day, and I mean, I said Casey Thompson doesn't have the arm talent that Hudson Card does. Well, I mean, I look stupid, because Casey Thompson, just about every throw that wasn't affected by pressure, was just this beautiful, perfect spiral. I mean, he had this throw to Xavier Worthy. It's the number 17 right here. No, it's not the number 17. It's the number 19. He had a throw to Xavier Worthy where, I mean, and the number 17 throw, actually, that was a Joshua Moore throw. Both these throws were beautiful back shoulder throws. The one where that was to Joshua Moore at twice the distance, over twice. That ball, the defender he just made a really good play on it. If the defender didn't make a good play, Joshua Moore's coming down with that, and it's a touchdown. And the Xavier Worthy one doesn't even happen. But, I mean, Casey Thompson showed a lot of promise in this Rice game. I'm still sticking with what I said. TCU is going to be the first real test. Texas Tech is going to be a test this Saturday. 11 a.m. game. I'm hoping the stands are packed. We've had 91,000 for Louisiana Lafayette, 92,000 for Rice. So, I mean, for the lower level schools, people are coming out, so you'd expect, for Texas Tech, they're going to come out and show out and be in full force. But another thing that I want to talk about is Casey Thompson, his attempts don't qualify him to be in that, but he's in the top of the country as is in his completion percentage. And I would assume, just without looking at it all, that his adjusted completion percentage is at the top, if not the best in the country. I mean, he's nearly 100% on the entire season. So, we're talking about a total of 7 missed throws. That's actually looking at just real stats. I need to go, like I said, I'll have the fractions up here next time because the percentage is at the bottom. But I mean, like I said, I want to. I really want to. I want to go all in on Casey Thompson. But I don't want to make the same mistake that I did with Hudson Card. We'll see. I mean, the dude's got all the talent in the world. Man. Yeah, I'm trying to hold myself off from doing it. But I know a lot of y'all are just going all gas, no brakes on Casey Thompson, and as you can see, it's clear. There's a reason why. I mean, granted, it was against Rice, so who knows? Rice played Arkansas good, which is kind of funny, and then they played Houston good for the first half, but Casey Thompson demolished them. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get more of that. I mean, I would love more of that. If we can get some of that versus OU, the Oklahoma legacy, I said it once, I'll say it again, that would make my day. Well, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hook 'em.